Imagine human beings living in an underground den, which has a mouth open towards the light and reaching all along the den. Here they have been from their childhood, and have their legs and necks chained so that they cannot move and can only see before them, being prevented by the chains from turning round their heads. Above and behind them a fire is blazing at a distance, and between the fire and the prisoners there is a raised way. Men will pass across the wall, carrying all sorts of vessels and statues and figures of animals made of wood. The prisoners will see only the shadows of the men and the objects. To them, the truth would be literally nothing but the shadows of images. When any of them is liberated and compelled suddenly to stand up and turn his neck round and walk and look towards the light, he will be pained and distressed by the glare, unable to see the realities of which in his former state he had seen shadows. Will he not be perplexed when he finds out the shadows were an illusion, and now his eyes are turned to a real existence? Will he not fancy that the shadows, which he formerly saw, are truer than the objects which are now shown to him? And suppose he is dragged up out of the den, his eyes will be dazzled, and he will not be able to see anything at all of what are now called realities. He must grow accustomed to the upper world. First he will see shadows, and then the reflections in the water. Last of all he will be able to see the sun, and not mere reflections of him in the water, but he will see him in his own proper place, and not in another, and he will contemplate him as he is. When he goes back into the cave, his eyes are full of darkness, and might take considerable time to improve, and thus the men would say he went up, and down he came without his eyes, and that it was better not even to think of ascending, and if anyone tried to lead another to the light, let them only catch the offender, and they would put him to death. In the world of knowledge, the idea of good appears last of all, and, when seen, is also inferred to be the universal author of all things beautiful and right, for just because the prisoners do not believe in the upper world, it does not mean it does not exist.